I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a man. Do you understand? Half of my life is unplanned. Most of the time I don't know what's next until I get a phone call.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Husband, Father, Man. Hope you are having yourselves a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, to anybody who is new to the channel, we welcome you in. We hope that you will become a part of the family to where you're checking out the videos on a regular basis, where you're looking forward to seeing the videos and just, learning a lot, and hopefully they are helping change some things for the better within your lives. So, once again, if it's first time viewers, here at Husband, Father, Man, we give marriage advice, parenting advice, manhood advice. Got some things for the women as well to try to help you understand your man, and also give you a little advice that may help you to better operate with your man as well. So we just cover across the board. A lot of good stuff going on here. And, we offer good advice on how to better yourself in different areas, how to take things to the next level. So we just hope you have a positive experience every time you tune in and watch a video. Excuse me. Or listen to a podcast. We just hope that it's helpful, entertaining, and all of that good stuff. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you will get everything when it comes out. So now that all of that has been covered, this is part 2 in the video series that we're doing here. I call it the Fab 5, where I'm talking about 5 areas to where if we prioritize properly, it can take us to the next level and improve things within our lives for the better. Because most of the time, if we're not focused and taking care of business, things can be very stressful. Things can be stressful, out of order, and just, throw things off in life. And so when we do things properly and we're on top of our game, things tend to be really great. You seem to be focused, happier, and things like that. At least I know I am. I mean, when I'm on top of my game and I'm productive, doing the things I'm supposed to be doing, whether it be work or at home and all these different things, I'm just feeling great because I know that I'm taking care of business. And that's one of the things, we all know we have things we should be doing, but we have a lot of things. We have distractions. We have procrastination going on. We just laziness. We just have so many things that stop us from taking care of business and doing what we're supposed to be doing on a regular basis. But, that's the thing. We have to push through it. We have to push through it. And once we realize we've gotten off the beaten path, we have to get back on track. And so today, as we talk about number 2, today we're going to be talking about family. So number 1 was faith, and number 2 is family. And so how we look at this is, once we put our faith in order, and that kind of dictates as we move forward. Because once we have everything in place with God, we know how to navigate in other areas. And when you look through our scripture, family is number 2 right after God. He says that you are supposed to be faithful and honor your God. And then you just see throughout the Bible to where it's like, hey, take care of your family, take care of home before you go doing other things or taking care of anybody else. Is always take care of home first. And so that's one of the things I want to share today to where it's like it's a focus on taking care of home first. So early in my marriage, so I am in ministry. And so I remember shortly after my wife and I were married, I was called into ministry. And so when I first started in ministry, I was just all over the place. And I was just like, okay, hey, God has called me to ministry. I got to go out here and I got to save everybody. I was trying to preach and teach to everybody. I was all setting up stuff where I was over everybody's house, praying with them and everything. And I remember my wife came to me one day and she was like, hey, you out here, trying to save the world and everybody else, and you neglecting home. And I'm like, hey, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing for God. What are you talking about, babe? I'm doing ministry. And she like, well, you supposed to be taking care of home first. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what she said, because it was a little more colorful, and it was a little, maybe the volume was up a little louder and things like that. But the thing of it is, when she told me that, I could have got offended. I could have gotten mad. I could have been like, whatever. You don't understand. I'm trying to work for God, and you're not going to stop me from doing ministry for God. It's so many different directions that could go in. And so at that time, my mindset was, God called me to ministry, so I know I'm supposed to be doing this. And so how do I balance the two? And so, as I said in the scripture, it talks about, taking care of your family. It talks about being faithful to God. And so I realized the thing of it is, usually when it's talking about taking care of your family and taking care of ministry and everything, it says take care of home first. Because just like when you look at when it talks about the qualifications of an elder, it talks about you making sure that your home is in order before you go out trying to help somebody else. And so when I looked at those different things within the Bible, then I'm like, okay, let me pray about this to see how to approach it. And so what I realized was home needed to be taken care of first. It wasn't a either or. It was just putting that priority in place. And so what I did was I was making sure that, let's just say it's Monday. So Monday, I'm at home. I'm spending time with my wife. I'm spending time, with our children and things like this, early in the marriage. I'm doing all of these things to where I'm like, hey, I'm taking care of home first. So if I was at home, available to the family, spending time with the family Monday and Tuesday, then Wednesday, I'm free to go do ministry because I've spent quality time. I've been available to them first. And so now I can go take care of the ministry because I've taken care of my family first. And so if my wife would be complaining if I left Wednesday, hey, why are you going to do? Then I would have been justified to be able to say, hey, babe, now I've been at home the past 2 days. We've hung out. We've gone places with the kids. Me and you watched the movie or whatever it was. So if she would have an issue with me leaving on Wednesday, now you're being unfair. And now that's something she has to answer to God about. Now, I answered to God to begin with when she brought that before me and did things properly to take care of home first. But she has to step up and allow for now for me to do what God has called me to do. And so I've operated that way for, we've been married for 21 years. And so throughout the marriage, this is how I've done things. I've never changed that. It's always been take care of home first. Then I do ministry, I say inside out. to where I take care of things on the inside before I head to the outside. So even over the years, I've gotten to the point to where, hey, I can kill two birds with one stone, because sometimes I'll have somebody come over to the house and I'll minister to them at the house. So I'm still present at the house. And so, that's just been successful for me. And even with making time for family, doing things with the kids, my schedule has always been, I've always been available, because my children have played sports over the years. And so I'm always the one taking to and picking up from the games and everything. I'm always the one at the games. I've always made space for them within that. I've always spent time with them, as far as like at home, trying to do things with them. Even when my wife wants us to do things as a family, she may have something planned, going to the zoo, going on a picnic, going to the park, whatever it may be. When she brings it up, because she's usually the one putting the events together, I'm there. And so it's very important that we prioritize and make family first, to where we are spending time with our spouse, we're spending time with our children, and just making it meaningful. We have a lot of things that we've done over the years, where we have like game nights, we have movie nights, we'll go out to eat, maybe once a month or something like that. But we always have something where we are building memories. And once again, this is not something that that has to take up all of your schedule, or something to where you're just like, well, I have this going on and I have that going on, so I don't have time. But this one is more or less in the mindset of making sure it's done. So before, when I was talking about making our faith a priority and putting things in place, there's a little more flexibility with that, where you're deciding when and where that's going to fit into your schedule. But a lot of times when it comes to spending time with family, that's one of them where sometimes you have to sacrifice, to where you may have to sacrifice doing something else to be with the family, or you have to be intentional, even though you may have legitimate things going on. You may have responsibilities with your job. You may be staying late at work. You may have things going on at church. You just may have other things going on. You could be coaching one of your kids' teams or another team, to where you legitimately have these responsibilities. But you still have to be mindful of, okay, I have all these other things going on. Where am I going to fit this time in? If it's nothing more than, like, if you're working late, if it's nothing more than making sure that when you get home, you spend that time, a little bit of time with kids before they go to bed, or you may get up early to make sure you can spend a little time with them before they go to school. You just have to be creative, put things on the calendar for you all to do, for them to look forward to it, and things like that. That will greatly change some things, because we don't want to get to that point later in life where we sacrificed family for work or all these other different things. I mean, and as I said, they're legit. I don't want anybody saying, well, I have to do this, I have to do that. But you have to make time. I mean, I know about wearing so many hats. I know about that. I know about having work obligations on top of obligations at church, with obligations when I was in school for ministry, and still having to make time for my family and everything. So I know about wearing all of those hats. So I'm not just saying things for people to and I don't know their situation. But what I want you to do is have a positive attitude, because sometimes we can get in that mindset where I just can't find the space. I still need time for myself, and all these different things that are legit. And I won't argue with any of them. They are legit. But what I will argue with is not having the mindset to say, I'm going to put forth the effort to make it happen. That's not an option. It's not an option to just say, hey, all of these things are going on and that's the best I can do. You have to figure it out. Most of the time I've been successful in these areas because I figured it out. I mean, there were times where I had a lot of different things going on, and my wife would still be like, hey, well, I need you to be here and I need this, and I had to make it happen. I let her know, hey, babe, I would love to be there, but I have this, and this going on. So, hey, maybe I'll come to this, but I can't make it to that. Or maybe I'll come to this early, but I have to leave early. Or maybe I'll show up late. But it's just, let's try to come up with options and try to make it happen. So it's just all about putting forth the effort and being creative to try to cover the spread, so to speak. I mean, because whenever I've put my heart and mind into something to try to make it happen, God has always blessed that situation. So it's never been a situation too many times to where I just couldn't find the place for it. I would sacrifice sleep. I would sacrifice time, money, try to just come up with anything I could to try and get it done so my family doesn't suffer. So I'm very proud of that fact, because my children are much older now. They're teenagers. My youngest is 9, but they're older now. And I know that if anybody ever asks them, hey, was your father around? They're going to say yes, because it's true. That's not going to be something they have to think about and say, oh, well, he was there sometimes. Then you'll see me just pop up out of nowhere. What you mean sometimes? I was there all the time. Are you kidding me? I always used to put y'all first. So really? This is how you treat me now? That might or might not happen. But I was just saying, I think that really, that they saw that and they knew that, and I think that they appreciate that. And so I am proud of putting forth that effort and always finding a way to get it done, to try to make sure that family comes first. So it's just a mindset and a heart set. And so if you are in that situation today where you're pressed for time and you may have to sacrifice some sleep or sacrifice something else, just pray about it and think about it and ask God how best you can handle this to make sure that your family is a priority and you are spending that time with them. You are getting to build that relationship with them, and you are building those memories. So I just truly encourage you to think about those things and never say never. Always have that can-do attitude. You need to be like Bob the Builder. Can we do it? Yes, we can. So just be that way, and I think it'll all work out. But I just encourage you to put forth the effort to come up with something. You may not be able to just come up with anything right then and there, but give yourself time, pray about it, allow God to touch your heart and your mind and give you some different options and be able to make those things happen for you. So I hope that was helpful for you today, and that it just encourages you that you can do this and that you just have that positive attitude moving forward and get it done. And then you're able to look back later and say, I'm glad I listened to that program, and he had some good advice, and I believed in what he was saying, and here I am now in a much better place. I would just really love to see that happen for anyone who's listening to this program right now. So that's all I have on this episode of Husband, Father, Man. So you take care. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I want to make sure every time something comes out, you have that notification bell hit, and you get everything, and that you're able to put it into action within your life. And once again, have a better marriage, be a better parent, and be a better you. So you take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.
I don't know what's next until I get a phone call or maybe a text saying, could you pick the kids up from soccer, grab some cake mix, and you know I only use Betty Crocker.